So, because of the particular time I was born, I've been dubbed a millennial. And somehow, collectively, as a generation, we the millennials have managed to end a ton of industries out there, including somehow the mayo industry, which, I'll be honest, I didn't know was an industry. But at the same time, I'm kind of happy to see it crumble under my millennial feet. So, let's be honest here. If we've managed to destroy a condiment industry, I think it's safe to say that we might be destroying even larger industries, such as farming. But I'm a lazy millennial, so I didn't bother looking it up if we are destroying it or not. So, I've decided to get to know farming and see if I can bring it back with this game called Stardew Valley, where, on a light note, the game starts with your grandpa's death, and you decide to quit your desk job and become a farmer. After a really long bus ride, you meet a lady, and then you meet the mayor, and then you're free to do whatever you want. Sure, the farm looks a little rough around the edges, but with some hard work and elbow grease, it'll turn into a great farm in no time at all. There's also this cave which seems to be whispering demonic thoughts straight into my head, which is probably nothing, and also there's this nice destroyed building right next to the cave, which is kinda cute. The mayor also left some seeds in my little shack of a house where my grandpa died, and I figured I should plant them sooner rather than later so that I could get some crops and finally I could admire all of the hard work I've done on this farmland. So, in order to plant stuff, all we have to do is a bit of working on the land, get it ready, plant them, water them, and it's pretty exciting to watch them grow, alright? Alright, well I guess while the crops grow, we can go into town and meet some of the locals. And wouldn't you know it, on the way there I found 2 ancient books that were buried underground, covered in worms. So that's something I guess I didn't know was part of the farm life. Sure can't wait to read what's inside of them. After talking to some random goth girl, I decided it was time to get drunk and think about what a loser I am. How I had a stable job, and for some reason, I decided to trade all of that away so I could live in my grandfather's broken down shack of a barn and grow parsnips until eventually I succumbed to the same fate that he did and the cycle would continue from there on out. Then, to cheer myself up, I decided to spend hours reading those books, which was pretty fun. They talk about the old gods and the sea, and on that note, I decided it was time to go to bed and start a brand new day tomorrow. I had a weird dream where all of my farmland had suddenly flooded, but that probably isn't a bad omen. There are worse things in the world after all, and having a little bit of extra water isn't a bad thing. So today I got a letter from a fisherman asking me to come visit him, and I figured that'd be a great way to spend my morning, cause my parsnips are still nothing, and nothing's really gonna happen if I stare at them. Strangely though, after I started fishing, I couldn't seem to stop. I was just so fixated on the sea that I just couldn't pull myself away from the ocean. Next thing I knew, it was already past 9 p.m., which was pretty late. Now listen, you might think that 9 p.m. isn't that late, but I'm a hard-working farmer man, and the sooner I can go to bed, the sooner I can die and pass on my horrible plot of land to my next of kin to deal with. Weirdly though, I couldn't sleep. I kept finding myself waking up and getting pulled towards that cave outside of my house. Ultimately, I succumbed to the thoughts and went inside of the cave, and once inside I had a lovely talk with some fella named Cthulhu. He offered me a great deal as well. Basically, I give up my soul to him and I get a great farmland, which seems reasonably fair to me because let's be honest, I'm not doing anything with my soul right now and I could use a good farm. After that, I woke in my room to realize that my shack had turned into a full-fledged house, which was pretty cool. I had all kinds of statues in there, like this bear and a skeleton. Not to mention, I had a hat now, which was pretty rad because the sun kept getting in my eyes, and that really sucked because it was hard to see the progress that my parsnips were making. But best of all, I had actual crops that weren't parsnips, and I had animals. Also, I own this castle now for some reason, and it has one little minion inside of it, so that's kind of cool, and at least I have that going for me, I guess. Yeah, all in all, this farm life seems pretty good on this super farm, except the more I think about it, the more I realize that I don't really deserve all of this, and it probably would have felt a lot better if I had maybe done some actual work on my little parsnips and watched them grow, instead of just inheriting this amazing farm that I put zero effort into. So, I decided I'd go call up Cthulhu, get my 30-day refund, and get my soul and old life back. Apparently though, he didn't like that, because soon after I found myself in some kind of underworld, forced to dig and pray that maybe one day I would find my way out, and using the best TV trope of all, I then woke up in bed. That's right, this was all just one crazy dream, and it wasn't because I couldn't think of a way to write myself out of this. I probably ended up having this dream because I drank too much, and this whole experience has taught me something. See, farming is a lot of hard work, and it's 100% not worth doing it by hand if you don't have any machines. So, after giving it the old college try, I've decided that, much like college, it's time for me to quit this and go home and grovel for my minimum wage desk job. that there's another video, and I want to thank you for watching it this far along. If you did enjoy it, feel free to leave it a like. You can share, you can subscribe, you can do all that fun stuff, but at the end of the day, you don't have to. I mean, if you really didn't like it, you can leave angry comments, you can dislike, you can do whatever you want, you can go scream at people. I don't care. At the end of the day, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm not your boss. I just want you to have yourself a nice day, and hopefully this video helped you with that.